time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 223. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, the Feast Season 19 results are in. Official service for PlayStation 5 version begins soon. Letter from the Producer Live, Part 64 Digest released. Final Fantasy XIV 60% off sale and other merchandise reminders. Patch 5.55 notes. Final Fantasy XIV Director speaks about FanFest. Y'shtola's skin color changes and NPC dating. And we have a contest. But first, let's shoot the shit. What has been going on this week? Hey, Ruby.
What's up, Yelta? How are you?
I'm warm. It's warm here in Minnesota.
Oh, well, it's also warm here in Texas. It's very rainy. It's actually been super duper rainy lately, but I guess if I can't go outside and play, I will stay inside and play, and I'll play Final Fantasy XIV, which I have. I think... I talked about last time, Butterfinger and all that good stuff got us kind of back kicked in, but I've taken it slow. We've had a new patch come out in between the last episode and now, and I didn't really jump feet first into the Zadnor content, and I went back to like my old habits. I think I just wanted to kind of get warmed back up again. So I put blue back on, and I'm like, let's do some blue. Let's see how much blue mage I can get done. So I took it to 70. I think last episode I was talking about my wife and I were kind of doing some spells together, whatever. And I realized I was doing like really good doing some of the primals. So I knocked out the primals, and I farmed for spells, and I started getting momentum. So I took blue to 70, and then I'm like, well, I got all the good elemental spells now, so maybe I can finish the Masked Carnival. And I did. I actually did. Nice. I don't know if is it spoiler alert now. If you put your fingers in your ears,
it's old at this point.
So old now. But I did the go-go stuff first before I actually finished. Well, you have to finish like the rank 30, the stuff with the last dude, and then it'll unlock. I'm
still stuck there.
Right. It'll unlock. It's hard. It was fucking hard. Unlocks go-go, and then the go-go shit was driving me nuts. I think it took me 3 days, Yelta, to do go-go. And it wasn't like I was doing it for 4 hours at a time, but I'd come on and I'd do like an hour. So whenever you guys are probably seeing me in Ul'dah, I was just banging my head against go-go. And so the first phase is just annoying as shit because it takes forever. You can use like that angel flute or whatever it is, and like moon flute, and burn him down a little bit. Because he's got some weird phase mechanics where the 15 seconds that you can't cast is you can dodge mechanics or whatever. But the second phase, he's got this fucking annoying thing that's like, you have to do the mechanics and drop these puddles. You have to like make sure you're in the center. I was using markers on a fucking solo fight. It was pissing me off. But I cleared it. I got it done, and I felt pretty good about it afterward. I just, honestly, if there's any music that I had to get stuck listening to, at least Go-Go's theme is a good fucking theme to get stuck listening to. So I had fun with that. So after I finished that, I went back and I cleared the other, I only had 2 more Masked Carnival stuff. There was one with bombs and something, the one with the fire dude and then the water dude, the jiggly butt guys. I finished those off, and so got all that completed. I had some good gear. I'll probably piss some people off with this. I had the chests that give you the level 70 HQ gear, and I'd been keeping those since Shadowbringers. I don't know why. So I was like, oh, I'm on blue, I'll pop them. Well, I popped them, and they give you, the mage gear, whatever, the HQ ones. And I went to the auction house, and they sell for really high. And I think it's because they're probably best in slot for blue. I don't fucking care. I sold those bitches. So I don't need best in slot blue. I'm not farming coil or something with that. So, or whatever, the Alexander stuff for achievements. Maybe someday. I think blue is actually really fun. I just don't know where its place is in the game. I wish it was like an amusement park ride and it was showcased like an amusement park ride. I kind of hate that it's stuck in the corner of Old Da. Like, they should really put some big fucking signs. If the Mass Carnival brings in a lot of money to the Old Da economy, y'all need to put a big fucking Blue Mage sign out in front, or give them a guild hall or something. You know, something needs to change in 6.0. So, we'll see. Maybe 7.0 when they take us to the new world or something. But I had a lot of fun doing that. I also was using blue as my, like, don't mess with me. I don't want to do any other content. So I was on blue. I was going to Triple Triad NPCs, and I'm like, I am so behind on cards, so I need to really start working on that. And I started going to all the NPCs. I just went to a website and just went down the list. I loaded all my cards in there, and I went down the list, and I started hitting some brick walls. I started hitting the brick wall of really Pagos. I didn't realize that there were 2 NPCs that required you to have unlocked Pyros and Hydatos. So if you don't have those unlocked, those NPCs don't show up on the pier, and you cannot play them for Triple Triad cards, and both of them have 4 cards apiece. I guess that's in lieu of having to get the cards out of Eureka. You can just win them from the NPC, and I'm pretty good at Triple Triad, so I don't mind playing the NPC for a couple hours at a time to get it. I usually have better luck than that. So what pisses me off is I can't play them, so I have to unlock it. So I had to take my ass back into Pagos. And I really was going to be upset that I had to do some Pagos. So I went in one night, and I fucked around for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm getting out of here. I'm scared. You know, I don't want to mess with this. But I went back in the next night, and I went and tried to farm. I was like, I'm gonna do the challenge log, and I'm just gonna do a couple of them, and we'll see. Well, I guess I didn't realize how much echo or whatever they give you now. And I used to be able to farm on Summoner pretty easily enough. But this was melting. Like, I was melting shit solo without touching the fairy. I was like, this is fast. And even like one of our FC mates was like, take it to Eureka, it's faster. I'm like, I don't know, man. This is like, I'm just like pulling at, like, I'm pulling and it's like 3 spells and it's going down, and I'm pulling and it's another, 3, 4, 5 spells and it's going down. I mean, like, this isn't terrible. Mm-hmm. So I was doing that for a little bit, and then, of course I filled up my Aether bar at one point, and I was like, well, let me go do that. And then I stumbled into like a group going somewhere. And this is something I wanted to tell you, Yelta, at the start, and I was like, I'll save it for the podcast. But I would roll up to a fate that's popping near me. I guess, I was farming crabs, so I made the crab spawn, and I went to another fate. And people would just invite me without me asking. And I was like, oh, well, thanks for the invite. And they're like, sure, well, it's like, they were really nice about it. And I started paying attention to the shouts. They are so nice in Pagos. At least the instance I was in, the couple of instances I was in. It's like a community now. It was like 30 to 40 people. That was like no more than 50. I don't know. And it was just like pleasant, where somebody said, hey, my friend needs 3 minutes to get across this zone. Can you hold the fate or something? They're unlocking something. And they waited, and they asked, do you, like, anybody on the way? And his people would say, like, 2 on the way, and they would wait. And then when those 2 showed up, they would ask again, anybody else on the way? And they would wait. I think at one point, like when I was first doing it solo and there were everybody there, I think they were like, at one point I felt like they were waiting for me to see if I was going to show up to a fate or not, because it was nearby. And I didn't respond. Okay. I didn't say anything. And it's not like people really were paying attention to me. But I started kind of getting the feeling like, man, they're asking on the way a lot. Like, nobody's responding. I'm not going to respond. It doesn't really make sense. But at the same time, it's like, wow, these people are super polite about popping these fates. Anyway, I ended up joining a group. We ran for a while. I filled up my bar all the way up again. I was able to upgrade my Pagos weapon.
Nice.
And then I got ranked 35. I was only ranked 33 when I got in there, so it was like it wasn't too far of a stretch for me. But let me tell you something. That rank 35 was scary as fuck. You have to go up by these griffins. This is such old content. Everybody's like, I know. But
I know the griffins you're talking about. And there was something else over there that people had.
There's some Malboros that surround the griffins.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad at one point because somebody was up there and he had died. And I was like, I went in the area, but he was in a group I was in previously. And he goes, like, somebody raised me or whatever. And they never got out there. And then I unlocked my quest. And I was like, oh, I need to go out there. And before I realized that where I was going was where that dude was at, I think he took the death warp and then lost metal or whatever. Well, it's not metal, but whatever it is. And he had to go back. And so he went on his way back. And I noped out and came back to the home point and then caught back up with him. Well, he had died again. And so he was up by the Malboros and he was shouting for raises and nobody was helping him. I just got through saying it was a good community, but nobody was helping this guy. I guess they all knew it's the Griffins. So you're on your own up there. And so I started creeping around the corner. I made it past the Malboros and I was like creeping around the corner. I was like, dude, if I can get you, I'll get you. And I managed to get that warp kind of raise, like get your ass over here. And then, he kind of hung back and I just like, I don't know. I just grabbed my junk and said, let's go. I jumped on my chocobo. I edged around the griffin somehow. I got my thing. I think that dude did too. I think he followed my path. Once he saw me go, he ran right behind me and got his. So that was a feel good moment. And we both unlocked Pyros. So I was like, see you in Pyros, dude. And
nice.
Then I got my NPC, but I never even played it Triple Triad. I was so burnt out after that. I didn't play it Triple Triad.
Yeah.
I'll go back. What else did I do? Well, I did do the new stuff, but I had to unlock it first. So I didn't even realize that I hadn't done, was that the Delibrium or whatever it's called? DR, whatever. I didn't even realize this, and I stumbled into it. I just was like, oh, I'm going to fuck around. And then I ended up doing it with a group, and I was like, oh, okay, great. And then I only died, like 4 or 5 times. I had 2 red mages that wouldn't raise at all. I guess that's a thing. Red mages don't raise anymore in that kind of content, but it's okay. I heard healers don't heal anymore either, but we'll talk.
Healers don't heal anymore. They're apparently green DPS.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the 5.55 stuff. But I was in there and I got that clear, and then I realized, oh, that's what I needed to unlock the newest section, and so. Like I said, I didn't like jump into it like face first, feet first, but I eventually got into Zadnor, and then I did Delibrium again. Did you go on that one, Yelta? I'm not sure if you were there with us. It was Raven,
last night?
Bell. There was a few other people or maybe like 3 or 4 of us that went into that.
I went into something with people last night. What did we do? No, that was the
Zadnor stuff. Yeah,
that's the Zadnor stuff.
And then, but anyway, so I got my 3 gold coins. That's all new to me. I hadn't bought any of that gear before, so okay. I get my gold coins, doing my weekly on that, and then got into Zadnor, and then did rank 15 through 19. So I started at 15 getting into there, and I got up to 19 with you guys last night. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's kind of weird going between Eureka and the Bosja content. It's just I don't know why. It's just kind of weird doing, like, I'm in both of these public dungeons back and forth. But it's cool. I like the type of content. I like the variety of content that's out there, and it's kind of nice to slowly get in that it's not like the only thing that we have to do is like EX content. I mean, like imagine like I'm coming back after a couple of months of break, and it's like, well, I guess I'm getting caught up in all the EXs. Well, I don't have to start with that. There's a lot of other stuff that that I can start with. And so, I mean, I started with blue and now I'm here. And, you know, I think Triple Triad is going to force me to do some of these older EXs that I've either gotten just one clear on or haven't gotten a clear, or the ones that we need mounts for. I mean, I got to go to Tsukuyomi again. I need that card. I think, Suzaku's card. I need Hades' card. There's cards I need, and Triple Triad is going to take me back into these EXs that I know are easy as hell now. But people need mounts, and so I think I could scrounge up 7 other FC members to do something like
easily.
that. Very
easily, I think.
Very easily. So it's been fun. All I can say is the last couple of weeks have been really fun to play. I'm looking forward to playing more. I get theme songs stuck in my head again. The Old Night theme is stuck in my head because I've been in the Mass Carnival so much. And I think one of the other big things I keep talking about doing is redecorating my little house. I want to redecorate my house, and that would give me some fun stuff to look forward to as well. So lots of content in this game, the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV. So, Yelta.
What is it? What's the meme with the free
I can't.
trial
Up to Heaven's Word. It's on T-shirts now. I've seen people make T-shirts. It's all over the place.
I've seen a lot of memeing on it.
A lot of memes.
I did the patch. I did all the patch things pretty much. I did lots of boss gens. Zadnos, however you say it. I did complete one relic all the way through. I've got my White Mage relic.
Oh, very nice.
I'm not sure if I'm in love with it, but
they look odd. They look odd.
It's kind of odd looking. Do note though, if you don't like the glow, and I think the glow is weird on the White Mage one, you never get to have the weapon, but you can go get a reproduction of all those last ones in a non-glowing form.
Interesting.
Yeah, and some of them actually kind of, I think, look better in the non-glowing form, but I do have several of the relic steps open, and I've got tons of currencies of different things. I've been running DRs because I need 15 of the Time Warns. I have had some of the worst goddamn parties, and I've had some really, really amazing parties. I had today's might have been shorter. I don't think I marked it down. I had a 16-minute DR. 16 minutes from the moment we walked in there to the moment I left. And that was just, everybody used essences, everybody just tore up the damage. People did heal, and people did, and people made mistakes and died and shit, but
that'd be me.
It was awesome. No, it was awesome. One I did today, and both of these I found through the Party Finder. I went through the Party Finder. People were like, pre-made, everybody bring an essence, or, bring damage pots and whatever, and, get good. And, both of them were really good. Today's was so good. The person at the end, he was like, anybody want to start a crossword link shelf for running these? Because, damn, and I see a lot, and I hear a lot of complaining, and I've seen it myself. I hear a lot of complaining in the Free Company and link shells and in our Discord and on Twitter and stuff. And yeah, people go in, and I'm not talking new people, right? I'm not talking brand new people who don't know what's what yet.
Right.
But people who go in and just willingly refuse to go spend a half an hour farming easy to kill mobs to get pots.
I'm not even in this shit, and I've read the forum posts about this. I've read the whining I've read somebody's post. I can't tell if they're trolls or not, because I can't tell in the official forums who's a troll or not anymore. Yeah. But I have read a post, and I don't think it was a troll post, that said, why do they feel the need to have to get an essence, some other kind of damage increase thing, when they have gear? And gear is the point of your damage increase. So if they've got the gear, they should be able to just go in it without and it's like, how can you be this dense? How can you have that mentality?
The whole thing is built around
you're all synced.
Holster full of stuff. It's, I don't know. Yeah, your gears, if you have good gear, it don't matter anyway. It's synced. Exactly. I don't know. I do understand that, I've talked to some people in the Free Company, they don't know where stuff drops, right? That can be a problem. Sure. If I always bring, Aether Weavers. Well, I don't necessarily know where they drop, so I lean on other people or Google it, and
or you can buy it.
You can buy it. You can buy it. There's not much else to use skill on, but it doesn't. And some people will, like, also take the opposite side where they insist they need, like, the super better ones. No, those are for Savage. They're like, I'm not going to buy blah, blah, blah and waste them when I need 15 runs. And I'm like, you don't need those,
Mm-hmm.
Just use something. Something that will either increase your damage or your healing or your survivability if you're squishy. Just use something. And if you don't know what to use, ask, or I don't know, let me Google that for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. Yeah, like last night was fun. Last night we had people of all levels in the zone. We were in a group. Different people were farming different things. We were all getting clusters. We were all getting fragments. Somebody mentioned they didn't have any lodestones. Those are what you use to quickly return back to the base.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Belle taught me how to kill the star mobs. So I went around and killed the star mobs and got enough to last people for a while.
I noticed.
They, it's and this is kind of fun content too, because we all are in there and we all can do our own thing, but we also can be chatting or go help each other out or whatever. And then, us 25s when the one thing popped, we just dropped, reformed, went and ran it, and came back when it was over. So, we didn't really, you didn't have to, like, you can't come. Yes, you can't come for one thing, but it wasn't, you could still keep playing.
I was surprised at that mechanic. Like, I was literally expecting to have to jump out of the party, and when y'all get back, you invite me back in, and it's all well and good. I was expecting that. The fact that you guys could just pop out and do your thing, and the rest of us can continue to do fates and die to CEs because there wasn't enough people to do them. And you guys just come back in, and it's just back into the party. It's like nothing ever changed. I think it's amazing.
We made somebody else party leader, and then we all left.
Yeah.
That's how we did it. And then Bell just, when he got back, he just said in one of the link shells, give me the leadership back.
Oh, you guys tricked me. I thought it was like some kind of like seamless.
It wasn't automatically. It wasn't automatic.
Well, screw this
seamless.
game. I thought that was an amazing thing that they invented for this game, that they just could take the people out.
But it's really such. Remember back in how much you complained that you couldn't help each other in Eureka?
Mm-hmm.
You could go sink down and fight fates, but really, if you did anything else, you were fucked.
Right.
You couldn't help each other. So they really. Now that said, I think we talked about this a little bit before. Well, I should probably save it for that section, but it's really fast in there. You level really fast.
You do level very fast. And they did change some mechanic. Like you can't fight individual mobs in Bosja content and get XP, right? That medal is what you get it from doing the fates.
The medal is skirmishes and CEs.
So you have to do the fates in there, whereas everybody jumped on the fate train in Eureka because it was the most efficient way to do it. It wasn't just the only way.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they fixed some things in Eureka. I think it's more fun now than it ever was, but it's kind of too late. Eureka's an expansion ago.
Yeah, well, I think they're fixing. Remember when they put like something in the weekly challenge?
Right. The challenge log's what transformed it.
That
yes.
helped. Yeah, that helped a lot, and some other stuff. And they'll do that to Sadness when it's time. But I also got every single field note, and with that you get the mount.
That's
Some
awesome.
of those were I spent like 4 solid hours a couple times just farming mobs to pop 2 fates to pop a C to just not get the item. I don't know. I had a 4-day weekend and I played a lot. So I'll probably be burned out soon, but we'll see what happens.
Now, but the mount, are you happy with the look of the mount?
Okay, so I'm a Lalafell, so when I'm riding it, it's ridiculous. If you go to my Twitter, you can see how a Lalafell sits on the front of it. And you just kind of flopped over it. It's kind of dumb. But it's it's an iconic Final Fantasy. Was it from 12? Was it 12?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Mount. It's the one that's used in the cutscenes in game and stuff like that. So, but I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. It's not any more stupid than any of the other some of the other mounts, I guess. But I'm going to probably work on several more relics. I don't have any desire to do them all, but as long as it still feels fun or people want to still go into content, I will continue to go. But I think this weekend we might try Leviathan Unreal, and I know a lot of us want to at least get one clear of it. So, all right, and then we have the Vast Wasteland. And in the Vast Wasteland, there's a drought. And in the drought, you get thirsty, which was my drunken slurring from last time, I think. So we did come up with a contest. It is the Thirsty for Endwalker contest. And we're going to do a screenshot contest because we're lazy. Show us your thirst in any screenshot of your choosing. Do keep it R-rated or under, please. Send us a screenshot with your character in it, showing us how thirsty you are. We'll pick one winner. The winner will receive a Fantasia so they can swap to whatever they want to before Endwalker. Or you can have your choice of Final Fantasy IV minions, Rita, Edge, or Rosa. The contest ends July 15th, and we'll announce a winner on the following episode. Entries can be sent to us by Twitter to our handle at GTFFXIV, or you can send it by email to gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please give us a way to contact you back so you can get your prize. Like, don't have, DMs turned off on Twitter or something. And you don't have to be naughty. If you want to, go swimming or have a fountain or drink some water, you can be thirsty there too. But show us how thirsty you are.
Yeah, you can lick Emmett Selk. I mean, we know that's the real thirst in this community.
Oh, yes.
But if you want to do something traditional, you can drink a glass of water.
Yeah. All right, then you can shoot the shit with us on our website, www.gtffxiv.com, and let us know what you've been up to. And let's see, the first round is news. The Feast Season 19 results are in, and let's see, what were the prizes this time?
What did we get?
Rewards.
What did we win, Yelta?
I didn't do the Feast.
Oh, you didn't do this time?
No.
Neither did I. I must have
Lone
missed
Wolf
it.
Trophy. The Hellhound. Oh, yeah, the Hellhound gear. Head, body, hand, foot per data center. Very nice.
I'm trying to think. Is the goal to get through Season 20 before they destroy the Feast and get rid of it from the game or whatever they plan on doing? And
I don't know. I don't know if they were going to get rid of the Feast.
Shut it down for a little bit like they do the other ones and make us play some other mode. Not that I play the Feast. I am excited about whatever they're going to do, whatever she was talking about.
They were talking about adding something new that's easier to get into, right? Right. That's what I think I heard.
And let us buy this gear so all these Feast people who have won it can get salty. Let's buy it.
Oh, no. It is some pretty badass gear. I don't know if I'd wear it, but it is pretty badass.
I don't play the type of character that probably would wear this, like some Dark Knight or something. A Reaper.
A Reaper, maybe. No, it is nice looking. So congratulations to all the winners. Official service for PlayStation 5, has started actually. It was the title begins soon, but it has started, and you can play it. Let's see.
Did they have some issues recently?
They had to shut down some entire zones or something, didn't they, for a little bit?
Yeah, I thought there was something with that. I thought there were some login issues. I don't quite know what was going on. I guess they've corrected things by now, and you can go to the Lodestone and read whatever may or may not have went wrong.
I remember there being a message when I logged into game that something was something. I don't know.
There was a login issue on the 27th.
Okay.
And I'm certain that cannot be the only issue that they've had with the issue I'm having on my my PS5 is I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have one either.
So
yeah, I bought one.
Oh, you got a PS5? Do you love it?
No, but I gave it to a friend.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She was going to die if she didn't get one.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Well, she's alive and well.
She loves it.
She
I
has
constantly see updates about how much she played this and she played that. So I'm very happy. I'm not even salty that I gave it away. There'll be PS5s for all someday.
There will.
So.
When they unveil the 6s, the 5s will be available for all of us.
Very possibly. But I don't know. There's some instructions here on how to get the PlayStation 5 version. I don't know PlayStation things, so if you need to do that, I would go to the Lodestone and look it up. All right, letter from the producer part. That's a 4, 6. I don't know what it is. You wrote it up
64,
up
I think.
64, like 6-4. All right, this was on the 27th. No, was it?
Well, it says on the top of the thing, letter from the producer live on the 27th. I guess that's
okay.
Was that is that the FanFest one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, full digest here. Like, we get the full.
This is the full digest after it's all happened.
Yeah.
Guess what? Patch 5.55 releasing May 25th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is all just, we're going to cover all this stuff in patch notes. So
yeah.
I'm going to go down to the bottom. Oh, we do have an upcoming schedule. They did give us an upcoming schedule. Did we talk about this before?
I'm not sure.
Before? So they did fix the desynthing gears from trials. That was one of the things they talked about, is they had not made a rule. Did we talk about this last time? Where items drop from EX
We
primals
talked about the desynthing gear.
Yeah. So that they have fixed, and it is in the patch notes. And then they did give us a slide about upcoming stuff.
Yeah, because we bitched about no Halloween.
Where's no? Yep. Okay, so we did talk about this. 2 weeks is too long. Well, there's not enough to talk about every week right now, though. I don't know. All right, so let's just move on. Final Fantasy XIV 60% off sale till June 9th. So that is going on right now. I think I might have retweeted some of this because that's some pretty nice sale.
Uh-huh.
If you want to start now, you could really, if you bought the game now, if you had never touched it, bought it now, you could probably be caught up even without no-lifing it before the expansion comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe so.
Yeah. I don't know if you don't play the game and are listening to this, but
yeah, why are you listening to that? You probably somebody from my job is like, what does he do in his spare time?
There is ongoing announcing merchandise and Endwalker aluminum water bottle. If you buy a certain amount of stuff, you can get this Endwalker aluminum bottle, which of course wasn't there when I bought something like a minute before, right? This came out immediately after I had bought something, and then I couldn't. Yeah, then I could not figure out how to spend $120 more that I wouldn't feel bad about. So I'm not getting this water bottle, but it's a nice water bottle.
It is.
Because you're thirsty, so you need a water bottle.
Hey.
Pre-orders begin for Citizen and Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, that's the watch.
Yeah.
We talked about the watches already.
Yeah, it's still happening. I hadn't pre-ordered mine yet, so this is just really a reminder to me to remember to pre-order my watch. You have till the end of June if you want this beautiful watch to pre-order it.
Man, they're kind of nice, but I would never wear it. So I'll have to wait until they have some cool merch that I want. That I would, yeah. The Butterfinger thing is still going on, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know when it ends. I don't know when they'll be sold out.
As while supplies last, I don't know.
Yeah. And then the Fender pre-orders have not started yet. That is a pretty awesome guitar.
Mm-hmm. But you can play it in game currently.
Oh, I already. I've already got my things shut off because I zoned in the morning of patch 5.55
into Limsa.
No, not even to Limsa. I was in Mordona.
Oh wow!
With electric guitars, and I'm like, nope. And you can turn off performance. Nope. Not for Yelta. I don't really like it. So
I saw Reinhardt had tweeted out the Wayne's World scene where they're in the guitar store and they start to play Stairway to Heaven. The guy's like, and he points to the sign. It's like, no Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, that's too good.
Heinous.
It's an excellent movie.
Most excellent.
All right. Ooh, I just dropped my mic. Okay. Now the big news. Patch 5.55 notes. What did you do first, Ruby? That's always the question. Everybody, all of Twitter is like, what are you going to do first?
I don't think I did any of this stuff first. If I were to pick any of the stuff that I actually that was released in this content first, I probably started playing Triple Triad. Was like the first thing I did, even though I'm 100 cards away from getting that mount. I think that was probably the first thing I did. But I wanted to do the Zadnor content. I think that's where it I got into. Let me at least go into that zone and see what I can do. And that's where I ended up accidentally going into Delibrium.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah.
What about you?
I did the new main scenario first. It was very short. It's only 3 quests. And, stuff happens. No spoilers. But really, I felt like a lot of other people. They're like, I thought there'd be a little more. But honestly, then I thought about it. I'm like, what else could they do?
Right.
We know where we're going. We know, they've announced the next expansion. There's not much more to wrap up before you get there.
Right. What other twists you're going to throw our way that's not here, but not in the new trailer as well. It's like, what are you going to do? So, I mean, the quests are long. I honestly, right now, if you put a gun to my head, I could not tell you everything that happened in there. It was a lot of talking, a lot of
Well, did you like the battle? I know some people had trouble with the battle. I just randomly hit the first 4 buttons.
Thank you for reminding me about that.
Okay.
That shit was badass. And the part at the end, the part at the end was the badass part where it says you are now playing as. That part, that last one, just made me giggle inside. You know what I'm talking about? It made me giggle so hard.
I don't even remember now.
I'll have to tell you off camera, Yelta, because that one was...
I don't even remember.
It was, you have a series of people that you... Oh, this is terrible.
As.
Yeah, I know. I don't really want to spoil too much for our listeners, but you do have a series of people that you get to play as. And the final person you get to play as before the fight, it pops up their name on the screen, and it's just funny to me of who they name as the last person you get to play. That's all I'm saying, because you never really get to see where it says, for this fight, you will be playing as... It's just funny to me. So anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. I really enjoyed the main scenario. I thought that fight was great. I really enjoyed... there was... I wouldn't call it a twist, but there's people I didn't expect to see that showed up.
Yeah.
They basically did what I expected them to do when they showed up, but I didn't expect to see them. So, and I don't think other NPCs expected to see them either. So that was a nice little surprise. Everything just flows back to where things are headed. I think I had said last night, it's funny to see stuff. This isn't spoilery stuff about Kryl here, and then I'm doing Eureka, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be in old Charlayan trying to negotiate a deal for us right now? Like, what you doing? What's happening?
It's the same time bubble thing. You have to just accept, the
listen.
Sultan being dead
I'm also
during culinary quests.
Oh yeah, I'm driving Prince Noctis's car from Final Fantasy 15. I think I can deal with the time bubble a little bit. But I did enjoy the story. I'm with you. Where else is this going to go? I mean, it's just going to take us right to Endwalker. I did also like the part at the very end where everybody looks up and it's super bright. So.
All right. And they added, I think, a final Chronicles of a New Era quest for Yorha Dark Apocalypse. I haven't seen it yet because I didn't bother doing the follow-up quests. I think I'm 4 quests in now. And I'm sorry, but I couldn't care less.
Oh, I actually have to do that last 24-man raid. I haven't done that at all.
I did it twice, I think.
Listen, guys, I think people know how... I'm not the biggest Nier fan in the world. I think it's got a cool storyline or whatever, but it's I'm ready for the next shit. I can't tell you how much more excited I am looking forward to a raid that has to do with Final Fantasy 14 than I am about some other games franchise or whatever. I mean, and I don't care if you stuck something that I love near and dear, you reach back and throw Shining Force in here or some other kind of franchise that I was in love with as a kid or something I love to this day. great, and I get where fan support is or whatever, but there is a little disjointing kind of thing that goes on with it. It's the time bow. It's the thing again where you're like meshing in stuff. And so with that disconnect plus not really being in love with the story, it's just a 24-man raid. I want to see why Nofika is a goddess. What's the meaning behind Thaliak and Nymena and all the 12 that we've been talking about. In fact, one of the best ones, at least in the beginning to me, was the Void Ark storyline. I just really loved the way Void Ark was something unique. And then it just kind of devolved into some kind of Final Fantasy IX clone or something. But at the very beginning, that dark ship, and I know it's a very easy 24-man raid, and I know it gets some shit sometimes, but I liked the aesthetic, the purple and black. It was creepy. Mm-hmm. It was about the void. It was about something that was Final Fantasy XIV centric. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Well, even Crystal
Tower told a story. I felt like Crystal Tower told its story better. I don't even hate Nier, right? I have the same problem with some of it as I did about the last set of 24 men because you get to the end and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. And some people really liked it, but some people really didn't know what was going on. So it's very frustrating. Mm-hmm. And these follow-up quests are kind of meh. And even some of the Nier fans I've talked to are like, yeah, they're kind of meh. And they found, apparently there's apparently something you get at the last quest and they're like, eh. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to get them done because I've got every other quest in the game done pretty absolutely. Much. So
I'm going to do them.
That reminds me, I have a fishing quest from A Realm Reborn I need to finish.
Oh, okay.
One of these days. I just leave it in my quest journal with that little red X over it so it doesn't show me it. That's how you just hide those quests.
That's right. Sweep it under the rug.
New side story quests have been added. Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhildr. This I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Got all the way through those. Those I liked. Some people didn't like the end, but I didn't think it was bad. And then there's a new weekly quest, and you have to have 2 million metal in your inventory, or in your to trigger the quest. And it was so funny, the night before the patch notes came out, somebody's like, 2 million metal? Are they insane? But do you know how fast metal it rains? I have turned in, so there's a part, once you're done leveling in Zadnor, you get to 25, and then you have to do these other things that just basically rank up. They remind me of, in Final Fantasy XI, you could get, like, bonuses. So I get, like, damage bonuses.
Oh, like the merit system. Yeah.
Like a merit system, yeah. And you have to turn in 20 million metal for those. And I've done several of those now.
20 million?
From the sky. 20 million. But anyway, there's and I think that weekly quest makes you run 2 things. I don't remember. And there are, of course, resistance weapons there and many quests for that and there. One thing to note is the section where you have to get 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these, or multiples of 6 different items. You only have to do that once, just so you know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can pick up 3 quests and you just churn them out and you don't have to do that again. And I liked that just fine, too. The new side story quests have been added. There's a quest for if you have all the cards. Adventure with all the cards. This is what you want. I've seen some of these around.
That something?
It's so atrocious, but whatever.
You think that's terrible? I think it's amazing. I
don't care for it.
I think that the fact that they made just a gaudy looking triple. I wish it was in blue. I wish you could like color palette swap it like between blue and red or something.
Oh yeah. I actually would like blue better if it was my choice.
But the fact that they just made it so stupid and silly, I like it. I think
it is ridiculous.
I think it is ridiculous, and I think it's fun, and I want it just to have it because other people are gonna like not get it. This is like something like you have to work for this. You got to work hard for this.
Oh yeah.
Now you got to cheese.
I'm missing lots.
I'm missing lots too, and there's some stuff I'm gonna have to work on to cheese to get some. I got to figure out a way to get those 2 Final Fantasy cards, the Cecil and Furion. But and if anybody wants to help me do that, I would be happy for their help. But the What else was I going to say about the triple triad in this thing? I'm liking the changes they've made. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Now, if you're going to get a mount for getting all the cards, does that mean that's all the cards? Like, are they going to stop adding cards?
I thought the translation said up till this point or something.
Okay, all right.
I thought that had been answered, but I could be wrong.
And it may have
not bet money on that.
I just thought it was kind of a funny way to,
like,
maybe it's like a kind of a milestone sort of thing, So, I think it's great. I think it's a good incentive to get people for some. But I don't know that anybody would look at it and say, like, well, I'm ready to play Triple Triad now. But I think for the Triple Triad players who have been, like, casually collecting all the cards like myself, or have, like, oh, I'm like 10 cards from getting them all or something like that. This is like, oh, shit, I can actually show people. See, the thing is, I could have every card in the world, Yelta, and I could tell you all day long I've got every card. But how do you know I've got every card? Yeah, look at my achievements or something. But if I could fly a mount in front of you, isn't that what it's for? You gotta show it off, right?
It's kind of the classic MMO show the
if I could get a weapon that showed I had all the triple triad cards or something, I would do it. If I could get something that floated over my head, or a glowing hat that had a bunch of, I'd wear it so everybody knew I had all the triple triad cards. So I think the mount's it's a pretty neat way to do that. So I'll see you in the gold saucer.
At least you know what it's for.
Yes.
At least you know what it's for, man. Yeah. I occasionally will get a burst of wanting to work on collecting them as kind of a completionist.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know if I'd ever be able to get all the triple triad cards, but, it's something to work on sometimes. It's when I don't know what to do with myself. Sometimes I'll just go try to get cards.
Come with me, Yelta. I need some EXs done. Let's go.
Oh, easily. Okay, new chapters have been added to New Game Plus. The main scenario quests for Shadowbringers Part 4 and Chronicles of a New Era quest, Yorha Dark Apocalypse. I still haven't done New Game Plus.
Oh, I haven't tried it yet. I'm still going through the regular game.
All right, housing. Furnishings from the Final Fantasy XIV Furnishing Design Contest have been added. Hey. And there's the 2017 and the 2019 contests. Additional contest entries have been selected to serve as new furnishings. This little closet is really cute. This little armoire or whatever. I think I might need that.
So they're saying they went back to the 2017 and picked some more winners out of that? That is fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen this gazebo? One of our neighbors has this gazebo.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. And we have some of these, are they wisteria trees or something?
Yeah. The gazebo reminds me of, remember Final Coil? And we would all... I think it was Final Coil. We would all have to meet in North.
Or one of the coils. We had to go sit there.
It was in North Shroud, and we would all go around in that gazebo or whatever that was up there. Yeah, the good old days.
The tree though is nice because the petals on the ground are part of the tree. They're not separate.
Ooh, so it's not taking up two slots. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I actually kind of like that little gardening shelf.
Yeah, it's cute. Put it by the Chocobo stable or something.
Yeah. That's very cute stuff. New furnishings have been added. These must not be from the contest. We have a spiral staircase going upstairs, a Gabu clock, another indoor pond, a food truck, I don't know.
Yeah.
And some flowers.
Hydrangeas?
Nice. Hydrangeas? I think that's what they are.
I'm going with that.
I've never seen hydrangeas.
Based on my Animal Crossing knowledge. I know all of my flowers from Animal Crossing.
That's probably just as valid. I'm like, I think my mom's had some that looked like this.
We had some growing up, and they would change color. I think it's like based on the pH level of the soil. They're like pink or blue. They're like a litmus test out of the ground. It's kind of an odd thing.
All right, they added new orchestrion roles. I think they only added 2. And miscellaneous. You can now do electric guitar.
You can annoy Yelta in Mordona.
No, you can't because you have to turn that shit off. Don't get me wrong. It's cool and all, but I don't need to hear that. And then there's like how to... Apparently it has like changing tones, and you can do muted and power chords and all sorts of stuff. New emotes have been added. This is the ring hands one. I got that. And there's, if you don't have it, there's like a stack of them in the free company chest.
I will
because it drops a lot.
Good deal.
All right, a new hairstyle based on a Final Fantasy XIV hairstyle design contest. It's really cute. It's this little side ponytail with a braid. Bitch won't drop for me. Yelta would look so cute with that. It will not drop.
It knows you want it. You have to act like you don't want it, and then it'll come to you.
Pretend I don't want it. I'd be like, I would never wear it anyway. But I want it. All right. Battle system. Diamond EX mount is increased.
Oh, good.
And Emerald
That'll help
EX
me.
mount is increased. Yeah, I need Diamond, I need Emerald, and I need
I
Sweet of
need
Sacrifice
every
still.
damn mount from this expansion.
We just need to go.
Let's go.
Go farm. And you can, for Emerald, you can now exchange the tokens for the mount.
Cool.
I haven't fought it. Emerald's hard for me. I cannot understand that swords thing. Diamond I got pretty good with a free company anyway, but I'm too scared to go into Party Finder. I don't know why. If I don't learn it early with Party Finder, I won't go. Mm-hmm. But because it seems like when I run with a free company, we run stuff just slightly different that gets you yelled at in Party Finder. So I only run with free company. All right, Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhilder, the plateaus of Zadnor have been added. Like the Bosnian Southern Front, blah, blah, blah. It's instanced and kind of thing. So
It's fun.
go in there when you're level 71. Some people didn't know that. You're also intended to level 71 to 80 in there. Mm-hmm. So
there is no deep dungeon in Shadowbringers.
no deep dungeon. Nope. All right, it's very much similar to the Bosnian Southern Front. So I think you only have to have done Fit for a Queen and Futures Rewritten quests to get in. So, and the maximum resistance rank is from 15 to 25, which the metal in there is so fast, though. If you spend any amount of time in there, you're going to be 25.
Yeah, to be honest, I think when I ran Delibrium and then I unlocked this, I came in this, I think it allowed me to come in at 13. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I
can come in at 10.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I came in at 13 and I just wanted to see what the zone was like. So I talked to some NPCs. I walked out. I ran into like one, it wasn't even critical engagement. It was just one fate or whatever it is, skirmish. And I ranked. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, I leveled up, and then I did, like, one more, and then a critical engagement popped, and I did it. And then I got, like, my level 15. I was like, this is insane. So then I quit then, and then I joined you guys last night to rank up the rest. But you are right. It is insanely fast to level up in there.
And true, it does get a little grindy later on when you have to turn in 20 million metal to do the other thing, but which it's in here somewhere. Honors system. So you get honors. So you get 20 million proof. Then you get proofs of metal when you turn in 20 million, and then they start at, was it 2? I'm not sure. But it increasingly goes more. So like Son of Valor, I now need like 4 to rank up one more. So so it's 20 million for 3 proofs of metal. Then I need 4 proofs of metal now to get a Son of Valor. And then it caps out at 10. Each of them caps out at 10. So you have Fortitude, Valor, and Succor. It's fast, though. But, man, can you do some frickin' damage. You start, between getting some of those honors and using some, essences. Holy crap.
Wow.
You'll also be able to enhance the strength of your resistance weapon by completing the quest, What Dreams Are Made Of. So, yeah, that's all it is. All right, they give you more metal when you do Delibrum Reganu, however it is. We all say DR.
Yeah, I think that helped me too in my level up, because I didn't realize that I was getting a shit ton of metal when I was running that.
All right, the Feast Season 19, has ended, and the preseason will begin. All right, new items have been added. This screenshot, I think, is all of the new Bosja gear.
Newish.
Newish. Well, yeah.
It's the gear from the last set of 24-man raids.
Oh, is it?
It's a palette swap. Yeah, I think these may be dyeable, maybe. But
yeah, these are dyeable.
Yeah.
I played with the Black Mage set because I actually kind of like it.
Yeah. I mean, they're not terrible, but it's.
They're not amazing.
I mean, I get it. We're in Dalmasca, right? Something like that. So we're wearing Dalmascan gear. But...
All right, and they added a bunch of new weapons. Or, I'm sorry, new recipes. They fixed the desynthing thing that we already talked about. They changed the graphical effect of the resplendent tackle field rod. It glow more now.
Oh, I like this slidey thing.
Yeah, somebody knows HTML5. And they added new big fish. They added new mount that I look ridiculous on. Well, they've added new mounts. They had a new chocobo barding. These drop like crazy, too. This is the Boston chocobo barding. I have a bunch of those. And they added a new minion. And it's the Queen.
Queen Brunhilde.
Oh, let's see. Oh, they've added new achievements and titles. One thing that was throwing some people, but I always automatically did it anyway. The party list will now be sorted automatically when the number of party members changes during an instance duty.
Ooh.
It was throwing people, but you can set up how you want the party to default sort. This will just automatically apply that.
Nice.
I like it, but... Okay. That's about it. That's it. I think that's enough.
Hey, that's good. Good stuff. A little bit extra for the vast wasteland.
Yeah, it's not a ton. It depends on how quick you're going to get burned out, I think, right? How much you want to grind in there.
How many relics
you want to
do.
do. And, a relic is nice to have, but, well, I'm having trouble right now because I'm not raiding, so I'm like, why even upgrade my shit? 6.0 is coming. I'll just get better stuff. It is nice not to have to worry about gear till, at least historically, like halfway through the leveling.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about getting new gear. All right, then let's see. Let's take some shots. We got a forum post. No, this isn't actually a forum post.
Not really, no. It's an
really.
article. It's an article that came out recently. I'm loading it up now by Natalie Flores. This one got some buzz because right after the, I think it was like right after the live letter. I don't know what brought this about, if it was just something in the air. I know it's been talked about before in the official forums, but there had been a lot of questions about Y'shtola's skin tone, that it changed throughout, from I think Heavensward to Stormblood to Shadowbringers. Players say there's a notable difference, a lightening of her skin tone throughout. And it has not been asked before. This had never been asked before by anybody, or if it had, I wasn't aware of it. It seemed to me that this was like the first time that it really ever got asked point blank. But I'm going to read it. I don't want to speculate. I'm going to just read it here. This is a good article. It's on FanBite, and it's called Director Yoshida Speaks About FanFest, the skin tone changes. There's some other good stuff in here that talks about the fan festival, Soken, and the cancer news. But I'm going to read the thing about the skin tone here. So let's see here. As a journalist, one of the many things I appreciate about Yoshida is thoughtfulness when answering questions, even if they're difficult. One such question I've had for a long time is Y'shtola's skin color. Over time, community members, particularly in the West, have noticed that Y'shtola's skin color has become lighter as the expansions have progressed. It's an observation that has caused concern and hurt among some players. As one of those players, I asked Yoshida for his input. He spent almost 20 minutes answering it. So I'd like to convey his answer to the community as clearly as possible. Like the material from the interview included in the rest of this article, it has been slightly edited for clarity. This is Yoshida's quote. It is a sensitive matter, but there are different ways in which people do interpret this, and it might be hurtful to certain people. He says, and I do understand that certain people might take it a certain way and be hurt in the way that we depict things, but I do want to assure you that we do not have any sort of ill intent. He begins by explaining Y'shtola's look in 1.0, in which her skin tone was much lighter. At the time, the team had to revamp the graphics engine, including the lighting, on a tight schedule for A Realm Reborn. As a result, he feels the team wasn't able to create a new look for her or shine the spotlight on her enough as one of the game's key characters. That's why in Heavensward, all the members of the Science, including Y'shtola, had a costume change, We were able to allocate the resources to update their look. He says, so with Stola, we changed her up a little bit. Her hair up a little bit. Thancred also went through some major changes. These were addressed in the most recent live letter. We tried to bring out the energetic and outgoing aspect of Ishtola with her costume as well as her hair, says Yoshida. In order to further that depiction more, we tried to make her skin a little bit more tanned. She's more sun-kissed. That was a choice we made in her updated look. Same goes for Thancred too. He would go through a survival period. He was out in the wild, so we gave him that rugged look with the sun-kissed tone as well. So Ishtola has started out a bit more fair-skinned and then sort of darkened. Throughout the narrative of Heavensward, it takes place primarily in the Coerthas area, the snowy lands, and a lot of the light is definitely very white in color. So we did have to make adjustments so that we can still show Ishtola in the updated look that we had given her with the skin tone. And we wanted to depict her change of the character as in, like how they changed from a more pale look to a more vibrant sun-kissed look. In Shadowbringers, the souls of the Scions were removed out of their physical bodies and then traveled to the First, while their bodies remained in the Source. Ishtola was in that realm of the First, so we had created her sort of Matoya's embodiment for that narrative. At the same time, the physical body was resting back in the Rising Stones, and they were in a room where there's not a lot of sunlight that came in, so any tan would kind of go away. I wanted to make sure that we were depicting these characters. They're not stuck in time. They're living characters. We don't want them to stay the same throughout, and I don't think that'd be the best for the characters. Yoshida says he would love for the players to focus more on the subtle changes that are being applied to these characters and hopes they can look at it from a more fair perspective. Of course, at one point we did make their skin tone more tanned, he says, but we're not trying to whiten it for the sake of whitening. I wish that players are able to see it on a much longer span because there was a time when Ishtola was even paler. It continues. He clarifies that he isn't angry at the situation or trying to place blame on anyone for the reaction. I just feel it's very unfortunate. This is a video game. And so I think the biggest purpose of it is to enjoy and have fun within this realm. And with Final Fantasy XIV, my hope for the players is that they're not sort of bound by real-life situations or stipulations. That's the kind of philosophy that goes behind creating the various content that goes in the game. Same goes for the ceremony of eternal bonding. That does not question your race, nor gender, or sex for two people to be bonded together. It's intentionally designed that way. So I hope that players don't exert one single sort of instance and are discouraged by it. I feel like it's such a waste for players to be discouraged from a singular instance. He continues, it's such a large world to enjoy. I'm sorry if I'm being very blunt and frank about this, but I have to explain it to the best of my abilities that went behind it in reasoning. And even then, I think it boils down to, I wish people would just enjoy and have fun in the game. And I hope that this message gets conveyed to all those players that do wonder sometimes. I'm going to stop there. It does continue throughout, and it's I can... Look, it's a tough question. If you were to ask me, a question like that, man, that's tough. And I guess it's less tough when you have an actual game plan in place, and it seems like either they did or it was rehearsed or whatever. They knew that this might be a question in the future. So I think Yoshida is prepared for this question. I think it's something that takes a long time to explain because even in the best of intentions, it has a sort of connotation to it. A connotation that doesn't happen everywhere in the world. I think that's actually in the next paragraph I didn't read that he talks about this is a worldwide game. And not the way that we in the West, or maybe even just the United States of America, where I'm podcasting from, where I'm recording from right now, that we may have a different perspective than other countries. Not that ours is right versus theirs wrong or vice versa, but that our perspective sees something that they don't, and maybe when they're designing something, you could call it, for maybe those in the West, an oversight. I do have question with, did they only pick two characters to go through this transformation with? I mean, is it just Ishtola and Thancred? Thancred's a good example, But I never saw those lily white twins change too much color throughout.
No, they don't change a whole lot. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like Urianger. I mean,
he had a face. He had a thing over his head the whole time. I'm not expecting too much over him, you know. And I'm not expecting anything. I guess, like, from my perspective as a gamer forever, you know, since I was 4, Pac-Man never changed any colors. Q*bert never changed any colors, any of that stuff. And into the 21st century, usually when they make a character, they usually kind of keep the same, unless it's like a different studio that's making it, or if it's a reboot or something, that's different.
Or a new engine or something.
That's kind of different. You know, like the 1.0 to 2.0, I kind of get some of that too. Although they tried to emulate the look as best as possible, just without 50 bazillion polygons. But when you take a main character, and I would say, you know, Thancred and Y'shtola are probably the most main of the main characters, because they killed Papalymo, and Yitta's not really Yitta. Yeah. And Urianger was kind of bad until he was good in 2.0. So he would be the next in line. And then the twins were in 2.0, but they got more prominent as it went. So, those two, Thancred and Y'shtola, are probably the mainest of the main characters. But my thinking is, you didn't do this for anybody else. Why did you feel the need to do it for these two? And even if they are the mainest of the main characters, it's the scions of the Seventh Dawn. So it's not like, when you make a character, I just think it would have been a better choice to just leave the skin tone alone, or if they had made her a little bit darker for Heavensward because of the snow or whatever else he's talking about, just keep it. Just roll with it, you know, instead of trying to, like, roll it back because they're not in the snow anymore or something like that. Although I think his answer makes sense to a degree, I think there's some things that are not really well thought out through. It's almost on the same level as not having those rewards that was going into, you know, when you desynth certain things. And that's where I go with, I don't think they were being malicious by any means. If you were to do this in the West, I would consider it an oversight. I would have said, oh, they're not really paying attention to the gamer audience and the issues and the things that people care about in our country in the West. I would say Yoshida had made an oversight. This wasn't even on their radar. But I have an issue with the design choice just in general. Like, even if you changed her a shade of blue or green or something, like, why would you make that design choice for two characters and none of the other characters? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did do this for others and they're not showing it.
Well, in a way, they got a whole new look.
Yeah. So I think people got accustomed to this, and I think people saw representation in Y'shtola, and it makes a difference. Representation matters, and when they made a design change, especially since they're going one direction with it, they were making her skin tone darker. Mm-hmm. I don't think any fan would have expected it to go back a different direction. They would say, "Oh, okay, so." The game is, you know, maybe making some play on Y'shtola, and this is the direction we're going with it, and this is what we're at. Not going backwards. It feels like backpedaling to somebody who's not in the design choices, and even in the design choices, it seems kind of just like a weird design choice. It doesn't seem malicious. Yeah. It just seems like a weird design choice. Anyway, that's my whole take on it. Yelta, you have any thoughts around that?
I don't know. She seemed like early on, I always thought she was pale as fuck. Mm-hmm. So and I didn't honestly even really notice it. And if they want to like adjust, you know, tweak skin tones back and forth, whatever. But honestly, I would think in a video game, kind of just leave it alone. Uh-huh. But all that said, I mean, even I have said it would be kind of nice to have. I mean, everybody's got white hair. They're all pale with white hair. Mm-hmm. It would be kind of cool to see some other representation in the scions.
Is that what it takes to become a scion? You have to have white hair? I didn't really pay attention to that, but I guess...
I think they all got white hair, don't they?
Yeah. I just thought Thancred was a little older. You know, he had the sexy
was more blonde,
right.
But yeah. No, Thancred's only like 30-something. He's not old. None of them have
dude.
gray hair.
In my head canon, Thancred's like 50. He's pushing 50, and he's just got a good body. He just keeps up with. He's like a dad, like a hot dad.
A hot dad.
That's really it. That is my Thancred canon.
Okay. No. Well, and I think I would bet money that, because they've already said in 6.0 we're going to be saying goodbye to some characters and going a new direction. I would not be surprised if because we're going to have probably common NPC, even if it's not the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, we're going to have probably more main NPCs that we see often, and I'm hoping they'll have, some. They're
going to overthrow Charlene. They're going to take over Charlene. They're going to say, the last line isn't going to be, pray, come to the Rising Stones. We're going to go, pray, come to whatever our new digs are up here. It's the new Scion camp. It's going to be badass. And Ishtola is the new Matoya up there. Matoya will crown her the new Matoya up there. And all the other Scions will live great. Brother and sister Levelier will hang out there. They'll lock Dad in prison and throw away the key, and they'll take over Charlene. That's my new 6.0 prediction.
That's your guess?
I actually had overlooked or missed that some of the Scions would be kind of bowing out after this. And I read this like yesterday or the day before and something, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize that some Scions are just going to say, okay, we're kind of like, we're hanging back now. Y'all have had enough of us. And that really opens up some cool avenues. I don't know what it opens up for the if they will show up continuously for a trust system, or if the trust system will be revamped in some other way after this. I don't know what this means.
I bet we get new trust members for new dungeons. Maybe we'll keep them in the trust system for this next section.
So.
Who knows?
But
if they're going to phase them out, and when Yoshida talks about 6.0, he might be talking about the entire. We might not get brand new trust members that phase them out till 7.0.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Or whatever system they decide to put in place. But not even just trust. I mean, like, are we going to see the other Scions that are kind of in the background? I mean, we're seeing a lot of far involved, and I don't know that you can count What's-Her-Face as a Scion, but like Harry Boulder or Ochre or whatever his name is, and some of those characters that they don't really get a whole lot of limelight. I wonder if we'll get some more action with those guys. I wonder if we'll be a completely different thing. The Scions are taking care of Heidelin, the planet, right now, and it's time for us to go into outer space and go on our next mission to some other new world. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. We got all kinds of stuff that could happen. But I had totally missed this whole, some Scions were, we're going to take a seat. They're kind of done, at least with running with us constantly.
Yeah. That's what it seems to mean anyway. That's what I figured they meant by it. But some people are like, they're going to kill them all off.
No,
and I'm like, I don't think so.
I don't even think
we're
the
gonna
twins are going to die. I joke about that, but I don't even think the twins will die. I think they'll
even if they get turned to stone, we'll fix
them.
Yeah,
we'll end up fixing them. It'll be fine. There was one other thing that I kind of threw on here because it had just happened today, and that's Frosty's Wacky Races. I'm actually going to pull it up now because I wasn't really even though I put it in the notes, I wasn't super prepared for it. But I can tell you what it kind of is while I'm looking it up. So everybody knows Frosty. Frosty _TV on Twitch. So twitch.tv /Frosty_TV. Everybody knows Frosty, the world race guy. Mog Talk. So he did like a fun thing. It was like a chocobo race sort of thing, and there was like some people in it, like a bunch of Twitch streamers. They all got together and did some stuff. So I'll read his tweet because it's kind of a cool fundraising event. Frosty says, "This was amazing. We raised over $2,000 in just over 2 hours for Extra Life for Kids. Butterfinger doubled that to a grand total of $4,000. Thank you to all the donors, racers, viewers, and everyone who made it possible. It means the world to him. Special thanks to the racers. So, I mean, just a bunch of people. Jesse Cox, Arthas, Chili, our boy Chili's in there, Pukajutsu, Keiko Star, Mr. Happy was in there, Spofi. Just a lot of, McStrong Huge, yeah. Just a lot of folks that are in the community that participated in that. But the funny part, I put this in the notes, because Mr. Happy responded with, so when is the 14 Olympics? And he listed dungeon speedruns, raids, chocobo racing, triple triad tournament, mahjong, ocean fishing, Lord of Verminion, Kugane Tower. It is not the worst idea I've ever heard. You know, we have talked about this. This game is like make your own fun. We have supported blitzball tournaments in the past. You know, make your own fun, do your own blitzball tournament stuff, and that had a little bit of RP elements that was involved with that, because Yoshida still is holding out on bringing blitzball to this game. But there are other things in this game that can be done for you know, fabulous money and prizes, and dungeon speed runs and chocobo racing and triple triad, and there could be a cool little niche with that. Maybe there are already communities that are doing some stuff like that, but I think that would be like a really fun thing to get involved with, is supporting a like an Olympics. I mean, of course, these guys are all on Twitch; they can all play their stuff, but you know, I'd jump on something like that. I think it's really fun. So I'm gonna brush up my triple triad as I'm going, in hopes that there is a Frosty's Winter Games. So you know, we maybe something will come up, and then like maybe community people can get involved some way, or support a good cause. So Frosty, if you're listening, sign Yelta and I up for some chocobo races or something, and we'll hang out. But I think it's great that people come up with creative ways, one, to raise money for great causes, but also just to have fun stuff, to keep the community together. You know, like even it's putting a campfire on the beach. We've done some of those. We're just kind of hanging out on the beach with people, and whatever else. It's fun to make your own fun in the game. Good on you, Frosty. Glad you were able to raise money for a good cause. And cool that they got Butterfinger to double up. Butterfinger is leaning hard
shit, right?
into the 14 stuff. I think that's a fantastic little sponsorship. Butterfinger coming through. Can we, Yoshida? Can we get a crispity crunchity in game for a little 4% XP boost? You know, like a little Mrs. Freshly's. Let me snap into a Butterfinger here, and I'd like a 4% XP boost, please.
No, you snap into a Slim Jim. Sweetie.
I'm going to snap into a Butterfinger, Yelta, and I'm going to enjoy it. Okay? They don't snap as well as they used to, because they took some of the crunch out. And yes, I know it's snap into a Slim Jim. I'm not admitting it.
Oh, my goodness. All right. I guess it's closing time then. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, GTFFXIV.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. And if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at GTFFXIV@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plug, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, RUBICONVALE.
And you can find me on Twitter at YeltaSumasu, YeltaSumasu. As always, thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.